All right, I believe that we're live. I think so. I really do think so. And let me tell you, my computer is not very happy right now that I'm doing this with FL Studio open. 2 instances of FL Studio open so I can have this lovely sounding audio processing on my microphone. As well as not the heaviest project file in the world, but not a light one, even after some minor optimizations. It's in the world, but there we go. Sorry, I'm just grabbing the stream to share, so I can do stuff. I'm gonna hit, before I share anything, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit play on. There's the occasional audio bug, but we're gonna have to live with that. We're just gonna have to live with that. I've now stopped by if you want my secrets. AMA. I'm gonna put AMA in the title, actually. Can I do that at this point? Go to live dashboard. I can, I'm just not gonna keep this open. Also AMA. All right. Yeah, my computer is not the most happy. What's going on, Skittleboo? All right. Yeah, I do wish I had a very slightly better computer, but this is what we're gonna have to live with. There's, like I said, there's gonna be the occasional audio. It's not gonna be occasional. It's gonna be listenable. It's not the most optimal that I want it to be, but we'll live. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, I guess. I hope. Why the hell are you taking up less CPU resources when streaming? What the fuck, not FL Studio, but Streamlabs. It's literally taking up less CPU resources when streaming. It's taking up 20% before. Now it's 3.2%. We're good. Suppose that makes my life better, and I should probably at everyone live now. Losing battle, breakdown, stream, and AMA as well. Peace. Alright, peace out, Skittleboo. Nice having you in for a moment. Also just gonna throw you into promotions and call it a day. And we'll call it a day there. Alright. Browser, yep. Oh, I could have done that. I could have done that from here. Oh well. Are we gonna wait a little bit for people to start filtering in? If you're in chat, go ahead and say hello because, it'll be nice to know who's here. Yeah, I should be starting this soon, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give the project file overview, for the VOD and stuff. It's not the least. Oh, hang on. This is showing the wrong mixer. Hang on. That mixer. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we have the right mixer showing. So this is our mixer channel. It's only 41, not 41. It's actually, what's 41 minus 13? Oh my God. 41 minus 13. 109. It's only 28 mixer channels, and 1, 2, 3 of them are buses. And we have a send. Then of course, we have the bus processing and master channel stuff. It's not the least complicated project file in the world, but it's far from my most complicated project file. Y'all should fucking see Realme. Oh my God, Realme is complicated. Yeah, this one also, if you look over here where my mouse is, you're gonna see it over there. These are the plugin effects that are active on a given channel. Some of these are fun, some of these are kind of low, but we have some of the. This one's not even used anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and just disable you to save on processing time. Yeah, not all of these are very empty. This is the lead guitar. I mean, to be fair, my lead guitar at the time sounded like shit. I had pretty much dead strings, and I had to do a lot to get sounding alive. So a lot of this doesn't really need it. This EQ is, and stereo enhancer. It's actually fine. Yeah, this vocal chain I'm also super proud of. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, I guess. I did ping everyone, right? I indeed did. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. I also consolidated the piano. The piano was recorded through MIDI just to save on processing. I'm just, optimizing project files and that type of stuff. Not much you can really do the ways with that. Going to make sure that everything's sounding okay. All right. We're all sounding good. So, starting at the top, this it's just pretty much started on piano. The reason why it started on piano was originally there was a planned, I don't know if it's still planned or not, but I know progress has been moving slowly last I saw it. This song is actually made for a friend who is Skittleboo, who is in chat a moment ago. That chat is not showing correctly. That's really fun. That's really annoying, actually. Damn. That sure sucks. I guess we're just not gonna have chat showing on stream then. Okay, that's totally cool. Yeah, Skittleboo was in chat just a moment ago, and they were the one that actually commissioned the song. I actually had most of it written out already. It just wasn't in this, style. It wasn't J-Rock. It was originally like 50 or 60 BPM slower, and without the lead riff. So... Sorry, I just need to send someone a message. Hey, what's going up, Harvey King? Yeah, sorry, it should be there for the chat replay that YouTube includes. Fuck, I'm just gonna fix this real quick. I want to, and I can do it quickly. If you don't mind just giving me like 20 seconds, don't go! I know it's boring! I just would like to get this fixed real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and not show this on the main display because I don't want y'all seeing my stream key. I think that's fair. Full name tag. Oh yeah, Harvey, I know you. You're from TBTL and JMPB. Okay, pop out chat. Give me the link, and then I need to add a browser source, and then we should be okay. Yeah, browser source, add source, baba bing, baba booey. And then I've got to resize you because you're just a little bit big. Width, we're gonna make you 400, and that should, that's literally perfect. And then we're gonna make you behind you, so you're kind of nicely tucked away. Why are you still not working? Can I actually add a normal chat box and be okay? Yeah, that is literally not working. What? Okay, that's cool, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna try one more thing. If this doesn't work, then we're just gonna fuck it, we ball without any included chat box, and then we get right back into it. Add source. Alright, can y'all just send a couple messages in chat just to see if this works? That would be very nice if it does, because it hasn't been working for me all day, and it's quite pissing me off. And if it does start working, that's going to be great. If it doesn't, oh well, too. It's not going to work. Okay, so... Oh, no, we're good! Yo! All right, I'm hype. Chat box is working. All right, we're good. So, let's get right back into the breakdown stream. If you're in a VOD, you're probably skipping directly here because I put in a time marker if I'm smart. So, this song was originally commissioned from a friend whose name is Skittleboo, and he was here earlier in chat for just a split second because he had to go somewhere. Busy man, he just got a voice acting gig. It's awesome. Guy's doing fucking great. Probably gonna do some studio work with him to get that voice sounding nice. Anyways, so the song was made for a Demon Slayer's campaign. Well, it was arranged for a Demon Slayer campaign. I already had the song wrote beforehand. I just, put it in a J-Rock style, and it worked really, really well for it. And the intro to it, like the animated intro, I don't know if he's still doing the thing or not. I don't know if they're still doing the intro animated or not, but at least in its in-progress form, it started off with like a zoom-in shot on like a old-timey radio. So I decided to start off with, like a piano. To make sure that, because I just consolidated you to save on CPU resources, I'm gonna move you there. Oh, what the fuck? That's not right. Okay, well, that track consolidation just isn't working. That's really cool. I'm okay with that. We're just gonna have to live. Oh, well. What the? Oh, that's why. You know, it starts with this piano that sounds like it was recorded. It wasn't the best recording. And then it slowly kind of, yeah. Yeah, those are the audio bugs I was talking about before. My computer's not the most happy with me at the moment. Where was I? Actually, hang on. If I were to, like, literally just drag and drop, does that work just fine, or? Let me see. Do I only have to do it to 9.8 decibels? That would be useful. Oh. Oh, never mind. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. So that saves on CPU. Awesome. This is just a whole lot of blabbering and not a whole lot of actual content. So, you know, it starts off with this, you know, like very compressed sounding piano, which I do through this tape saturation model. This plugin's an asshole. This plugin is an actual asshole, and half the time it decides to not work. But when it does, it's free. And it has a large amount of customization, and it lets me, you know, get a sound like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and sort out this piano. This is with and then without. Then are we running any? We actually do have some on there, but it doesn't get used yet. So yeah, we have some automation that slowly fades it out. We have a bass that comes in, and it fades into this, you know, massive, you know, instrumental. Go ahead and just kind of break down its parts real quick. So, you know, of course, you know, every song's root are the drums. Every single song. If you say, at least every rock song. Okay, almost every rock song. My genre of music has drums kind of at the, has drums kind of at their core. And if they don't sound right, then it's not going to be good. So these drums, I worked very hard to get sounding right. I did a lot of tweaking, a lot of processing, used a lot of reference mixes. I used, for reference mixes to get the drum sounding right, I used Crush's Live and Learn, as well as this one cover of Shulkin Sentimental by Amy Lee, I want to say. I'm going to pull it up real quick just to see if I'm getting the name real quick. If you're wondering why Lovejoy searched, I just wanted to see how many monthly listeners they had left. But yeah, oh, I misspelled it. Oh, did it get taken down? I'm going to be really sad if this is taken down. Hang on. There it is. Okay, I was spelling it right. It was Shulkin Sentimental by, Alma Lee from their Full Metal Alchemist cover album. Like, I've used this song as a reference mix. This song was huge for getting this song, for helping to get this song the right energy, the right vibe, the right mixing. Hanging on the Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Live and Learn, one of my favorite songs of all time. Not quite top 50, but boy, is it fucking up there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and solo out the drums so you can hear them individually, because I fucking love how these drums sound. Genuinely, my best mixing on drums of anything I have released. Maybe Dose, but even then, I didn't do most of the mixing there. That was just fucking addictive drums doing its own thing. Oh, hang on, I need to turn on the automation. Like, getting that snare to crack the way it does. What do I have on that snare? EQ, I guess I'm boosting 1600 hertz because I figured that was a good frequency. I did a lot of this work when I was in a state, you know, of just like zoning in and making very tiny changes. We have Maximus, which Maximus is the fucking GOAT, dude. If you have FL Studio and you don't use Maximus, you're doing something wrong. I mean, like, if you're recording stuff, I mean, it adds a decent amount of latency and processing overhead. Not that much, but a bit. But like for post-processing, especially percussion for me, my drums would not sound this good without this plugin. Yeah, honestly, Live and Learn is fucking great. Love it to death. But yeah, we have some like all these curves are, it's just like compression curves. Like the x-axis is input volume, the y-axis is output volume. So if I have a curve like this, the output volume is going to be louder than the input volume at a curve like this until it gets here, and then it tampers off. Same for here. You see a lot of this. You see a lot of these types of things, curves in like live consoles. Then I have, just some kind of just like a soft limiter, kind of just like a soft clipper almost, but with a bit of attack, just to make sure it doesn't go too hard. The kick is pretty similar. I kind of made it boxy by taking out a lot of mids. Maximus, I had to be a little bit more careful with the kick to not make it too boofy, and I think I got it there. And I had some post EQ just to raise up the highs post compression. Also, my snare sauce is this little patcher thing over here where I have a dry signal bypassing, then I have a wet signal that has a high roll off followed by reverb. So that I'm gonna go ahead and solo the snare so you can hear this, and I'm gonna disable it. Just makes it just that little bit bigger, a little bit more slap. That's kind of my snare secret sauce. The rest of the drums, pressing kind of unimportant. We have hi-hat, which is just EQ, fresh air, elevator. Fresh air is goated on anything that's acoustic. I throw it on anything that's acoustic pretty much. I can't live without fresh air. It's free. It's pretty unintensive CPU-wise. All right, so that's one piece of the puzzle, the drums. Then we add in the second piece, which is the bass. This is, let's see here. This is a bass guitar that I played myself. It's nothing much. It's just root notes, just putting a 4 to the thing on, and then I layer that in with this with like an E-piano Rode with some distortion on it. And I'm running a pitch shifter to make it lower in the pitch. Then I'm literally running like some like kind of nasty guitar reverb on it, and of course some EQ. Take out that nasty, bad, no very good 200 hertz. Especially because without this, it's a little muddy, so I just keep it out. So that's two parts of the puzzle. That's the foundation laid down. Oh, hang on. And then we have, we're actually going to go to the rhythm guitars next. So the rhythm guitars kind of provide, like if the drums and bass provide the energy, the rhythm guitar provides the power. And just with this rhythm guitar, the processing is pretty simple. Input EQ, just making sure no frequencies that I don't want to hit distortion aren't. And then we have fucking CVT amped, which is my fucking goat. I'm probably going to get some more guitar distortion but later, but like this is treating me so damn well. And that's on 2 guitars with double track, and on both guitars I have different presets running, so there's a little bit more of a 3D sound. And then that takes us to a bus, which has a notch filter to get out some nasty frequencies that just don't sound good. I'm going to demonstrate everything with and without the bus. Just demonstrate how important this notch EQ is. So this is with the notch. Oh, hang on. I want it to just be U2. The fuck? Okay, there we go. I'm actually going to start using the playlist. I'm going to start using Mixer to solo stuff out so I don't have to worry about the automation. So this is with that notch running, and then without. It's kind of hard to hear if you don't have trained ears, but the notches do make it better, like a lot. All right, so now we have the foundation. We have the foundation and drive. We have the power. Now, what's the interest step? We have 2 things, actually. We have this lead guitar. Right, because there's a fuck ton of automation here that hates me if I don't have it on. With this lead guitar, if I can... Oh, right, everything's muted. Which isn't the worst sounding patch in the world. It would have sounded better if I replaced my strings by this point, because my strings are old as fuck. But then I layered that in with an E-piano, or like a synth. Which was done in MIDI. I just consolidated it for like, purposes. It's a kind of sick riff. I kind of wrote it day of, and it stuck in my head. And then we add just like this piano and organ. Just for some little bit of extra flair, just to keep things, interesting up top, give it some extra instrumentation, a little bit extra meat. This piano is fucking Addictive Keys the GOAT, and this organ is actually a line in from my physical keyboard, because Yamaha actually has some pretty decent sounds. I wish I had like a fucking Nord Stage 3, but unfortunately, I'm broke as fuck, so that's not gonna happen. So altogether, with everything listed, we have the foundation, we have the drive, we have the intro step, and then we have the smaller extra details that just keep the song a little bit more interesting. And then all just nicely combines into... Oof, that's a little worse than usual. What is up, my dude? Weird. I'm gonna close out Spotify because I opened that up recently. And make sure that we're all good. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get. And it's kind of combined just for this very big and powerful and driving sound. But absolutely everything starts at the drums. If your drums are whack, your song, it doesn't track. And fun fact, I actually stole this chord progression from Insomnia, because I just kind of figured I needed the lead riff. And listen, it's not plagiarism if I wrote the original progression myself, and it lends itself pretty well. I can reuse a fucking chord progression if I want. Yeah. Then it goes into the verse. Every day I'm awake, facing off with the onslaught of repeated words circling in my mind. I cannot hesitate. I am only one man army alone, facing off with them. A couple things happen here already. Of course, dynamics drop way down. Drums are quite literally like just. Like it's just this kind of, just driving the mix along. That's all it's doing. Thank you, Proudly Idiotic, for the brilliant quote from me. That's all the drums really have to do to keep the song driving at this point. Just some hi-hat. I gotta love that double kick. I've been liking double kicks a lot more than I should. Bass, I think, is like palm muted. Yeah, okay. What really happens here is the guitar goes from being double-tracked to single-tracked. That's why there's an extra little thing here with just a bit of left-right delay and some separating. Oh, shit, I actually think I moved a thing. Okay, we're actually good. We're good. Yeah, it goes from being double tracked to just kind of single track, just to really pull back the overall power of the piece. Yeah, that's all it really has to be. There's no point to double track it. It just needs to get out of the way. It needs to keep driving. But what comes into play here, what comes in the forefront, are these vocals. Every day I'm awake. You need the automation to sound right. Every day I'm awake, facing off with an onslaught of repeated words circling in my mind. Now, this is my best vocal chain to date that I have released. And I am running some auto-tune on it. It doesn't really do much. I hit everything actually pretty nicely on key. I just put it there because it sounded a tiny bit better. I go, like, a lot of rock lends itself to imperfections, not this style, so I just kind of threw it on. Like, every day I'm it's awake, not doing much. Up with an onslaught of repeated words circling in my mind. Like, even with it off. Every day I'm awake, facing off with an onslaught of repeated words circling in my mind. That sounds fucking great. Like, in any other rock setting, that would be a perfectly great take. But this is it's a little faster, it's a little more precise, it's a little more blazing. It needs to be a little bit more on. Less sloppy. So that's pretty much just like a D-slop layer. You can't fix bad vocals with auto-tune, and these are good vocals. Now we have some gain coming into an EQ, which this EQ is not doing much. We have a de-esser, gotta love Sooth 2. This thing is a motherfucker on CPU resources and latency, but it does its job. We have compression, obviously. Every day I'm awake, facing off with the knot. Then we have the first time I've ever used a stereo exciter, but it only comes on in the chorus. And what really makes these vocals just sound like properly good and almost warm, no, almost cold, to be honest, is this, this is once again the fucking GOAT Chow Tate model. Every day I'm awake, facing off with the non-slide. This is without. Repeated words circling in my mind. It gives it a tiny bit more grunge, almost. It makes it fit in. I don't know what it like. I hear what it does. I don't know the words to describe how much better it's making the vocals.
Every day I'm awake, facing off with the non-slide.
But it's just emulating tape saturation, and there's a reason why people use like preamps to get just the slightest amount of just the slightest amount of distortion on their vocals, because it just sounds better. Then the reverb here is a 3-pass design. We have this pass for body, this pass for kind of late body, and then this pass for kind of like a pad.
Every day I'm awake, facing off with the non-slide of repeated words.
So if I take this off,
Every
if I
day
take
I'm
these
awake,
two off,
facing off with the non-slide of repeated words circulating in my mind.
I take this off too.
Every day
Very
I'm awake,
dry.
facing off with the non-slide.
Then it has a little bit more body,
circulating in my mind.
a little bit more body,
I am only one
and then a little
man,
bit of like
alone.
a pad going under it. So this is like my default that I use for basically everything now. It's just 3-pass reverb. Works a fucking treat. And then the piano is pretty much just working its way down into the chord progression. Just holding down kind of a pad, and that kind of recombines to make this.
Every day I'm awake, facing off with the non-slide of repeated words circulating in my mind. I cannot hesitate, I am only one man, army alone, facing off with temptation, giving in the nation, social abrasions. Oh, I'm running out of my ammo, the rounds cutting through snow. I wasted road opponent to come and take me to the unknown.
Pre-chorus is pretty much the same as the first verse, but we have this lead guitar that gets added in. And the lead guitar automation is very tricky. And it's pretty much this automation that makes the lead guitar sound right. I can shut up my phone. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and solo out this lead guitar for you. It kind of works as a riser in itself, except I do actually have a riser. We have auto-tune on the lead guitar because my strings were old as fuck at the time. Guitar amp. I had to put the guitar amp in a patcher chain because I ran out of slots. It's compression because my strings were old as shit. We have a pitch shifter, which just kind of makes it sound more mean, gives it those upper tones a little bit more strongly. Amp, once again CVT, and some Soundgoodizer just to glue it all together, make it to where you never not be able to hear it. And this kind of automation. This automation is what I have recorded on this Hullabaloo. I actually recorded this automation by hand, by literally dragging my mouse around. You can kind of see with the jitteriness. But yeah, I recorded that shit by hand because I just kind of wanted to do it. Didn't feel like automating it by keyframes or the fucking sliders here because FL Studio's automation's not great. Then we have some automation gain that kind of comes in. What this is, it's calling it automation gain is kind of incorrect. Oh, hang on, actually, this doesn't get used because I don't have lead guitar in the chorus. Never mind. Well, there's originally lead guitar in the chorus that sounds like this. And I kind of have all these things just to kind of keep its volume down, but then I realized it took up too much space and didn't really do much. So I just didn't use it. Oh well. Then we have some reverb that comes on that was supposed to be used for that, but isn't. And then, of course, delay, because every lead instrument needs delay. And then that just leads super nicely into this just wonderful, 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 wonderful chorus. Oh, hang on, I forgot. This is like 5 or 6 takes of just whoa, which I can gonna go ahead and solo out for you. Oh my god, I need to find a way to make all of you like always present. Is there a way of doing that? Oh my god, I just found the way of doing that. Let's fucking go. Okay, I'm a happy man now. I'm gonna do that with all the automation. I found my new favorite keyboard shortcut, Shift Click. Makes a track always on, never turns it off. I'm gonna use that a lot more now. I'm very happy. Okay, anyways, but yeah, it's just kind of goes into this channel and, you know, fresh air, tape model, just a lot of things just to... It's a very aggressive tape model. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm actually running high and low cut on it. Like without any processing, it's like, pretty full, but like, we need that. Now, actually, I was supposed to blank this. I was supposed to blank the lead vocals doing that out too, but I never did. So, oops. Anyway, so this continues, and then we have this. We have like a clone of these vocals coming in on a different channel, as like pitch shifted and format shifted down, so it gives the vocals just like way more body. So I'm gonna let you listen as those come in.
But aborted to come and take me to the end, but no, we fight the losing battle for the buckets of the night.
I did the exact same technique on my Dose cover, and I reused it again for here because I really like how it sounds. I have not had another song that needs it. No song is like that fucking powerful to where it could lend itself to that stuff. But yeah, literally all it is, fucking same thing to start the chain. Have some EQ coming on here, just to keep it out of the lead vocals' way. Vocals are just being balanced differently. Then we have this pitch shifter, which I actually bought the full version of FL Studio just to use. So we have pitch down -12 and then format down -7. And that's pretty much all it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and solo out just this.
We fight the losing battle for the buckets of the night.
It's like I can just.
We dive if eternity sticking up and piling high.
Like it's a fucking phenomenal tool
Sweeping up down through
Mankind.
for just like getting a sound that you
We
want.
fight the losing battle for the
Like
bellies of the
unrecognizable,
night.
to be honest. Like how I'm able to get my vocals here. But yeah, super, super, super handy. It also lets me keep the format and pitch completely separate with format correction. If I turn that off, then it's like,
We fight the losing battle for the buckets of
of the night.
and that just sounds like me, but like just weird.
Fight the losing battle.
It's a super fun tool to play with. I highly recommend playing around with it sometime if you have the full version of FL Studio. And then my favorite thing that I did for this song is this, you hear those like delay effects, like that is done in this bus in a patcher. So this is very complicated. I'm going to take you through it step by step. To start with, we have a gate. If something's below a certain volume threshold, it doesn't come through. This is kind of a catch-all for anything that I miss in the automation, which that's what this automation is doing. It's saying exactly how much these vocals get sent to this bus. If you just look down here in my mixer track thing in the bottom, over that way. That's what that does. That's kind of a catch-all, and that kind of needs to happen. That's the wrong thing. That kind of needs to happen first before anything else. That's still the wrong thing. I love it whenever I click on a different channel and it puts me back to the same one. Thank you, FL Studio. Please fix the bug. Then we have delay, which is just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's the meat of the sound, that delay. Then that kind of comes into an EQ to keep it kind of away from the main presence. So I have dips at 2K, dips at 4K, a very shallow high pass curve on, as well as a slight high shelf dip. And then we have a side chain, where anytime the normal vocals are going, it gives a compression. So the volume drops a little bit as the normal vocals are going. So if they come off, they flourish a bit. Not much. Not much, but a bit. You can see. And then we have both the dry signal and why do I have the dry signal going into that? I had my reasoning probably. And we have both the dry signal. We have the dry signal going out as well as this signal going into a reverb just to give it a little bit more fullness because it didn't sound right going into the vocal reverb. I don't know exactly what this sounds like. It almost sounds like a feedback mic, but without the feedback problems. But yeah, this was one of the harder things that in fact, in the first demo for this song, I actually charted out because I figured, I want to do some cool effects for this. And I brought it into the full thing, and I really think it makes the chorus. Not makes it, but it adds a lot to it. Good Lord, my computer is not happy today. It's not happy at all. I'm actually just going to close out Discord to see if that helps. There. I have less distractions at least. Yeah. We have this we have this kind of this synth come back in. You know, but because it has a bit of like a automation EQ, it has like an anti-presence EQ in it. Dips at 2K, high shelf roll off. You know, like with it, without it. Just to kind of keep it out of the way, but because it still has kind of a body down here, you know, it's still audible. The bass and sub-bass, the bass and kind of like E-piano synth thing make a return just to kind of keep that low end being driven. How much processing you're trying? Oh wow. Yeah, that kind of comes back for that. Drums, once again, they remain, you know, immensely powerful. It's just open hi-hat with flash cymbals. That's all it is. That's all it needs to be, you know? It works. It drives, and it makes the song fucking kill. There's originally piano in this part, but I decided to take it out. Yeah, once again, if anyone has any questions about anything regarding the song, use chat. Not even this song, just anything at all. It's a fucking AMA stream. Go crazy. Ask me about my darkest secrets. I feel like sharing today. All right, well, that chorus that everyone knows and absolutely fucking loves goes into, you know, second verse, which we have, you know, this kind of riser, this kind of two risers going up into. Oh, yeah, by the way, Impact 15 is indeed in this song. I didn't forget. I will never forget Impact 15. You know, some risers coming in, you know, just kind of easing the transition into... So what happens here is we have a Chow tape model. Once again, my favorite and least favorite plugin. Oh my god, it's my ex-wife. Hi Sharon, how are you? Why are you here? You know I've written songs about you. Fucking Sharon, dude. Oh my god. Anyways, but yeah. For just the second verse, we have, you know, you have this Chow tape model kind of automate in. Once again, just kind of make everything sound like just this old tiny radio. Almost just make it sound old, decrepit almost. It also really pulls back the dynamics, you know, just to make the next section just feel a little bit bigger. That happens there. We also have a high-low pass filter going on, so nothing above 5K, nothing below 50. Nothing but like 60 hertz and 40 hertz, I guess. And then, what was supposed to happen here was these drums are also supposed to have the exact same automation on it. They're supposed to have the low high pass, and they're also supposed to sound, you know, real old and decrepit. But what happened by mistake was one time, because this fucking Chow tape model sucks ass and breaks itself when it feels like it, any moment it could just decide to die. And the stream would suck a little bit more. What happened was it broke, and I didn't realize it broke, and I was listening to it, and then suddenly these drums came in, and they were huge compared to the rest of the mixes. We also have some reverb that comes on automation. And because of that reverb, because of just the slight EQ that we had here, it was like this halftime breakdown. I mean, it was already a halftime breakdown, but it was a halftime breakdown. It was just boof, massive, huge, awesome. It turns away from life. You said it better than I could, Joe Ma'am. Ha, Joe Ma'am, yo mom. That's good. Well, yeah, it just sounded massive, and I thought, well, the function of this part of the song is to kind of pull back dynamics. But the function of this song is to sound cool as fuck. So I kept it. And these drums just come in and they sound fucking awesome. Like, holy shit. Kind of wish I did a little bit more with like some tom fills and stuff, but oh well. I'll live. Yeah, everything goes through this filter, and even the vocals go through that filter. And then I have, you know, some harmonies coming on, which I use the exact same channel as of the lower vocals that I showed off earlier in the chorus. But I just automate off the autotune axis, and it still works pretty damn well as just like a less presence channel to work as a harmony. I was able to save some mixer track space there, which is nice. Also still have some automation going to that delay bus, which sounds sick. If you want, I can share the preset for it in the Turn Back to Life Discord server for anyone here that uses FL Studio. And then to back it all, we have just this little tape hiss back here. You know, it's just the tiniest bit of volume. You can only really hear it in the first half before, you know, it comes back before the drums. Oh my fucking god, I love this part so much. Top tier section right there, god. Love it. And that just kind of goes back into the exact same pre-chorus, I want to say. Oh! I forgot! So you notice all of my vocals are named scratch vocals. I can't share it anyways. In fact, I probably will in like sneak peeks or something, or just somewhere in general. You notice that all of these say scratch vocals. These were the first vocals I recorded for the song. At least in this project file. I practiced it a couple other times, I'd recorded it a couple other times. First time I recorded it for this project file, and I just got it really nicely first take. I never felt the need to redo them. That's a common thread with a lot of my songs for some reason. I really should redo more vocals, but honestly, these didn't need it. And you'll notice these are the same file name, so this is the same take exactly. I don't know why I separated them out. I think I needed to do some stuff with like the gain or something. But yeah, I fucking nailed it. Then, you know, verse 2 is fine. And then this comes back in, guitar is still going. This time I actually do, I think.
So running out.
Did I?
So running out of my air.
Oh, I did it in a separate take, so it sounded a little more natural. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, first and second half of this are actually different takes. Then it goes back into the exact same chorus, but the only difference with this last chorus is I add in this piano, which if I were to go to the right part, I could have played it a little bit better. It sounds a little bit heavy in the riff, like it feels like I'm almost sluggish. You could barely even hear this in the mix too, but I actually stole this riff from The Bear by OK Goodnight from the album The Fox and the Bird, which you can hear in kind of the last chorus. It's not the exact same riff, but it kind of got that idea of kind of going between that minor 7 and tonic, that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, from that song. And I think it lends itself pretty damn well here. Once again, guitars go back from being single track, double track. I'm actually going to show you the difference, just like sew it out so you can kind of feel how it is. Shit, that's not the right buttons. I'm just going to start it from here and you can kind of feel the difference. Like, it just opens up. It gets louder, it gets meaner, it gets greener, you know. And, you know, this chorus is the same as the first, except, you know, just different lyrics and such. It's actually pretty much the exact same takes, just different lyrics. Then it goes back into the instrumental section, which is pretty much the same as over here, but did I use a different piano take? I didn't use a different piano take. Then that goes in the bridge, where everything pulls back as far as it possibly can.
May have been so many years since I've been trapped on the field. I may have the time, the distance between us, I haven't even started to heal. I don't know if I can fight it. Something that should be real, and not the same between the good and the pain. All I know is true.
And that just feels sick. So this bridge is actually kind of where I got a little bit stuck on writing. I knew what the lyrics were going to be for the most part. Didn't know what the vocals were going to be. No, I didn't know what the melody was going to be. I had an okay idea. And then I remembered that I had taken 3 semesters of music theory at that point. So I was able to save my ass here. So what this is I'm not going to turn on my piano because this project file will crash if I turn on my piano because FL Studio hates me. This is 1 4,
Since I've been trapped on the field,
6,
may of the time, the distance between
5.
us, I haven't even started to hear.
and then it kind of like half repeats. It's like an A prime section almost. 1,
I don't know if I can
3 as like a passing chord, then it goes into a 4,
something that should be real.
then it goes a 4 again. Oh god, then it's then it's back to 3, 6, flat 2, 5. So what that is it's using a classical circle of fifths progression by going 3, 5, flat 2, by going 3, 6, flat 2, 5. Because if you look at a keyboard, the chords for this section are, actually, hang on. I'm just gonna unplug my piano. Aha! I can unplug it, and let's turn the volume up so the microphone can hear it. I'm smart like that. That's audible enough. It doesn't sound great, but it's audible enough. So yeah, it's 1, 3 as a passing, then 4, then back to 3, then it goes down a fifth, then down another fifth, and then up a tritone. Back to 1. So yeah, that's a classical circle of fifths progression, which is basically just moving downward in fifths. It is a very common technique that people use to get out of stuff. But then you may think, okay, what about flat 2? That doesn't make much sense. Like that's a C sharp in a C Dorian scale. C sharp doesn't exist in a C Dorian scale, silly. Well, you're right. We call it D flat, you fuckbag. Anyways, it does in fact exist because technically there are no scales. There are keys. And each key has a couple of different modes. Of course, we have major and minor that everyone loves. But then we have Dorian, which I leverage a lot for my songs, which has a raised 6 instead of a flat 6. Then we have more major stuff like Lydian, which is a sharp 4. Then we have stuff like Mixolydian, which is a flat 7. And then we have some funkier minor ones. We have Phrygian, which is flat 2. That's D flat. Wait, that's... And then we also have Locrian, which is used very sparingly because it's very hard to get stuff to sound right. Because it's not only flat 7, flat 6, and flat 3 from the minor mode, and flat 2 from the Phrygian mode, it's also flat 5! And it never sounds like it's home, and it's super interesting for that. It's very hard to get stuff to sound right on there. There's a few songs that use it. I'm pretty sure The Bear, which I mentioned before, favorite song of all time, uses Phrygian, not Locrian, because flat 5s are so hard to use properly, because like that's kind of like the two landmarks of anyone's scale. It's the tonic and the dominant. Like, you need the dominant and the tonic for the scale to work, but then we have a scale suddenly that doesn't have a proper dominant. Your dominant is diminished, or it's not diminished, it's flat. And your tonic is diminished, and it's weird. But what that flat 2 does, it's actually called a Neapolitan chord because it's used so often. Generally, it's used in first inversion, and I can see how that would sound good in like a piano setting, better than that. But because we're so far down, it sounded a little too dissonant to my ear, so I just used Neapolitan in root position, which is even less common than a Neapolitan in first inversion, which is pretty damn interesting. Yeah, all that Neapolitan is, it's just modal interchange. It's just borrowing a chord from, that Phrygian mode, which we have discussed does exist, and it exists in the key of C. So if you say that D flat doesn't exist in the key of C, you're wrong. You need to go to music theory class, and you need to consider a different career. Anyways. Neapolitan rant over. So I ended up using that, just kind of falling in fifths. And I think it sounded sick as fuck. Yeah, I fucking love music theory. Like, music theory are not rules, they are guidelines. And here, these guidelines helped write the song to make it so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just demonstrate it again.
Lines are saying between the good and the bad.
And then we get into, I think, everyone's favorite suggestion. I think what some people in this chat have been waiting for, the sax solo. Oh my god, the sax solo. So, I go to the Pellissippi State. I used to, because I just graduated. I'm not doing jazz band next semester because I'm focusing on because I'm focusing on gen eds. What was I saying? I was part of a jazz band, and for all 4 semesters I was a part of it, we had a saxophone player who went between tenor, alto, and baritone sax, named Terry Schmidt. Was it Terry Schmidt? Oh my god, I'm gonna die if I get his name wrong on public record. I'm gonna double check my email to make sure I got the right name. It's not. It is Schmidt. Okay. So Mike Schmidt's brother from FNAF. He's a fucking phenomenal player. He's been playing jazz for 40, maybe 50 years, and had a really cool, improv style that was almost avant-garde free jazz. Not necessarily free jazz, because he still, stuck to the, song form and beat, but he plays with a lot of, noise in his saxophone. He knows how to make his saxophone croak and sing and wallow and weep. And it makes his solos just fucking fascinating to watch. There's a couple videos of him online on the Pellissippi website during our jazz band concerts where he plays, and he is... Oh my god, he's amazing. He's a fucking wonder. And I decided to hit him up. I was like, hey, Terry, you mind putting down a solo? In my head, I was fully intending, okay, if he says yes and asks how much, I'm going to pay him. He never asked how much, and it was a free gig, so I got 45 years of experience for free, which I would absolutely pay a decent poetry sum for. But he just gave it. I gave him the solo progression, and he put down 10 or so takes, to various amounts of success. And I was able to compile them into this wonderful solo. Which the first half is kind of compiled between takes 5, 8, and takes 5 and 8. Then the last half is just all one take. I'm gonna go ahead and solo this out because it's a fucking beaut. There's that noise I was talking about. Oh my god. It just howls. Woo! If y'all want, I am damn happy to just cut this out and put it in the fucking Discord server as just its own thing so y'all have it because I love this solo. And here are all the other bits and pieces of this sax solo that didn't get used. It's we have him kind of improvising some noises. I should probably mute you. That part was originally there, but I ended up keeping tenor 2 because the flow was a little more natural. Then we have this tenor 4 down here. It's just what the fuck is this? Who makes these sounds? And on songs he's more familiar with the progression with that he's gotten practice on. He's able to use these and he's able to use just these insane sounds over one take to sound phenomenal. This was a free job. He put down a couple of takes and let me kind of compose my own thing based off of that, which is fine. I'm not gonna complain for anything being free. And then we have this. Look at that fucking DC offset! Bro, it goes all the way down! What? I really wanted to include that bit. Honestly, I was genuinely tempted to make the solo twice as long as it was just to give this shit more time to shine. The song needed to be fast. Like, holy fucking shit, Terry. You sound insane. I'm just gonna go through all of these. Oh my god. Well, he's played that da-da-da-da-da-da. He played that riff a couple times. I think he liked that part of the riff. I should have probably put it in, but like... This is one of his more melodic takes. This guy plays like an insane man. And oh my fucking god, I love it. But yeah, all that could have made it in, but I liked Take Two so much, and I figured it was more important for authenticity to have like just like an entire section untouched that I decided to keep this. And to be honest, it worked out really fucking well. Then, he kind of comes back in with this just insane run up from here. We have some like fruity gross beat coming in, like that ba 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 ba, to kind of get that in there. Like, oh my god, this guy is fucking insane, and I love him so much, and I want to work with him again, but I already got free work from him once. I don't think I'm gonna get free work from him again. I'm not quite in a position to pay, but boy, am I fucking happy to. Fun fact, actually, to those that are still here, this was originally supposed to be a synth solo. And it wasn't a bad solo. It just wasn't like a great solo. I'll go ahead and just kind of show off what I mean. Oh, I have it disabled. I can probably go ahead. I'll go ahead and just play it in context so you can hear it. Yeah, this was the original solo that I put down. I didn't know if it was going to be a placeholder at the time or the final solo, so I gave it my all. But yeah. I should probably disable the stats. Good lord, is my computer ever not happy right now? Yeah, that was the original solo, and like it's not a bad solo. Like I would have been perfectly content putting that in the final song. Like he uses sequence there, not sequence. Here's my favorite piano riff. It's bombastic, it's fast, and like structurally, it's pretty damn sound. It's just, you can't beat Terry's noise. Nothing will ever once beat Terry Schmidt's noise. Anything else I can disable? I'm probably just gonna disable the vocal and bass side chains. That should save a lot on CPU resources, probably. Yeah. I'm just gonna play through this. I don't think we need to play the solo again. Yeah, then last chorus, it's same as the first, but it has that piano chugging away on it. And I'm just gonna play through the last chorus just for the sake of it. And this tenor, he actually recorded the lead riff on tenor sax as well. I just didn't use it. I just didn't use it because it didn't sound quite right in the mix. Like, I'm reconsidering. That actually sounds pretty fucking sick. Why didn't I include that? Anyways, that's the song for the most part. Any questions about me, the song, my life, anything else? For those that are still here. Like, I'm happy to go into any chain and mixing or compositional decision I made. Happy to do that. More than happy to do that, in fact. Anything I missed, actually? Because there's really not, like, the most amount of stuff going on in this song. Like I said, it's only, like, 30 or so channels that are actually being used. You know, then, of course, there's the usual bus stuff for, like, processing and compression and et cetera, and yada, 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 the boring shit. Like, overall, very simple song. Oh, yeah, I should probably go into my master chain real quick. It's not the biggest master chain. There's a cut, and I cut at, like, what, 30 hertz? Long Vivian photo. Yes, I'll be delivering that to Vivian and Charlotte here in a week. This is my master EQ. I'm dipping a little bit more at 200 hertz there than I probably need to, because I was very careful to demud everything else. I really didn't need to do this as much. I know that now, but it's there, and it's in the released version of the track. Oh well. You have some stereo separation, kind of shoving the lows together mono, and then giving the mids a little bit of space to breathe. Not much, but just give them a little bit more room to breathe. We have our compressor over here, which does its job. Generally, I try to set my threshold at a point to where, like, the drums still pop a bit and they're physically louder, but everything kind of. Okay. I set the threshold and during, like, the choruses and loudest parts of the song, kind of about where the drums sound the best. At the ratio that the song needs to be. Like, this song, you know, it's fun. It needs a bit of dynamic range, but for the most part, it's loud, it's bombastic, it's fun. So he's able to get away with a bit of a higher ratio than, because usually I just run like a 2.0, like a 2.0, 2.2 ratio on the master. Like, for the louder stuff, you can generally run it higher. And then we have the goated Fruity limiter working as a limiter, but not using the limiter, using the saturation knob. Because that makes sense. Because of course the saturation knob's a good limiter. And I have a decent amount of gain going up into it, so it's pretty damn loud. Like, you can see the lines of that snare is popping. Like, that's insane. You can see the lines. Like, that snare fucking pops. Yeah. It's at this point I ask if there are any questions here today. I don't think there should be, but if there is, seek now forever hold your peace. And then I'm going to give y'all a sample of an unreleased track. Was I in band in high school? I was in the string orchestra. I was used as like an auxiliary piano player for the occasional track that needed piano. Like, we played Britney Spears' Toxic, and that needed piano. And I wasn't in like marching band and stuff. I wasn't really in the market for being outside in 95-degree Tennessee heat. See, my dad's from Chicago. We're warm-blooded. We hate heat. We need air conditioner at all times. Right now, I've had to keep the AC off in my room for a bit because I'm streaming. And my computer is very hot. So I am melting, like, as we speak right now. Where did I learn how to play piano? My parents, when I was 7, sent me to a local piano, like, music place. It was like Knox. It's like Knox Music Studios or Knox County Music or something, where I was kind of classically trained for a couple years. Hated it. Hated. You're in Nebraska. You're in Nebraska. You don't deal with the humidity. You don't deal with that valley recirculation. You don't get to complain about heat in Nebraska. Anyways, I was classically trained for the first couple years. Hated it. I wasn't bad. I had a pretty good sense of music. I just didn't like being classically trained. And then I took a break from like 11 years old to 14, and then my parents signed me up for School of Rock. And playing in a band setting and playing actual fun songs to play, I was like, oh, wait, I like this. My piano teacher there taught me some kind of fundamentals about music theory and scales and chords and that type of stuff. And I learned how to play in a band setting and how to learn songs kind of quick and how to memorize a song basically just off of a lead sheet symbol. Off of lead sheet charts. And then I took 2 semesters of 1-hour-long private piano classes in college. And during all this time, I'm also doing music and teaching myself how to do stuff and teaching myself JMPB songs and etc. So for the first bit, classically trained, and then I, for the most part, self-taught these days. For the most part, I have a pretty good feel on like how to find like exactly what to do with my hands and what feels good and what doesn't. I have the fundamentals down. That makes it a lot easier to do everything else, which is nice. It's very, very nice. Yeah, that's where I learned. Classically trained, college, and then my own room. Yeah. Honestly, I get and don't get being classically trained about, with stuff at the same time. Like, I get it from like a perspective of like teaching fundamentals of what to do with your hands. I don't get it in like a fundamental of like learning how to learn songs quickly. Like, if you're just doing sheet music for all of your life, sure. But if you're gonna do anything that's not classical, like, you need to be able to learn by your ear, and you need to be able to learn from a lead sheet symbol. And that's where I think classical training kind of falters. I was lucky to have a good teacher. Yeah. I was pretty damn lucky to have like an actually good teacher, so. Yeah, I was 10 and 11 at the time. I was bored. I wanted to go home and play Minecraft. I wanted to go home and teach myself Dry Hands from Minecraft. I wanted to go home and teach myself Dire Ducks from Super Mario 64. That's what I wanted to do. And that's okay if you can't improvise, to be honest. If you join the jazz band, you will learn how to improvise. It all starts with the blues scale. Okay. My improv strategy, if I'm ever stuck on a song or progression, start with a riff. Like, a lot of times in jazz band, like, I had 2 songs that I soloed in F. F blues. And it was, what was the song called? It was Mamacita. A jazz band piece. Actually playing the progression to a different blues song in F, but jazz voicings. I'm not the best at jazz voicings, but who cares? What I started doing is I decided to start every solo with a lick, and that lick I'd figure out beforehand. Like, one of my favorite licks to start with is like a. If I could play the right chords. It's been a bit since I soloed and it doesn't sound right without the band, but if I just start on a riff, my hands just kind of do the rest. Another note I really like using is kind of that flat 2. Kind of makes it sound ambiguous where home is, but if you give it a flat 5, it generally kind of works out. But yeah, that's my tip for improvisation. Start with the riff that you know, go off from there. If you're ever struggling where to go, repeat the riff again and make like 1 or 2 changes to it. I keep the rhythm but change the notes. Like we have as the initial riff, and then we have that's kind of like another direction it can go just by changing like a note or 2. Kind of helps. Also, practice your blues scales. 1, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, 1. A lot of early soloing is just kind of running up and down the blues scale doing stuff. You'll figure it out from there. Like, just practice blues scale, practice running up and down it, practice doing some jumps, practice doing some 3rd chord stuff. Stuff like that. And you'll start getting the hang of it. Yeah. Any scale, 1, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, 7, flat 7, 1. Blues scale. It's goated. With all of the sauce. In fact, that's actually what I was doing for that synth solo. It was just pretty much blues scale. Good. Practice your scales. You can't not practice your scales, my dude. I went a long time without practicing my scales. I didn't think I needed them. And then when I was sitting down trying to learn Johnny Manziel's Fake Me Out, there's this rundown. That's literally just a C-sharp scale. That's a D-flat scale just being run down from the 6. And from the 5, and goes down to the 1, and goes down to the 7. And there I was, having barely practiced my scales, looking at that and saying, oh shit! I should have been practicing my scales. Oh god. Whatever. Yeah, practice your scales. If you know your scales, you know your keys, you know you should put your fingers, and that just makes soloing all the more natural. That's my second tip. Practice your scales. Hey, any other questions? Then I can give y'all a bit of a sniff of an upcoming track. I'll go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna close out this project file so my computer gets a fucking break. I'm also gonna reset it to where it was when I opened this project file because, you know, I would prefer to have exactly as the file was archived. All right. That's going to take a moment to close. It's going to crash. Oh, it actually didn't crash on close. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this bad boy up. This is as long as I have, you know. Actually, no, I don't want to show you all the in progress one. This is Alone. It's going to be an earlier track in the album, I think. I'll just show you like the first bit.
Mindset with nothing to do or say. Sit up mine and I'm here in the room. Everybody's got someone to choose. Sitting there got something to say. Partner up is just a little more room. Not me. Not me.
And I'm going to stop there to not spoil too much, but this is actually one of Flame's favorite songs. And fun fact, I actually came up with the overall idea for this song in voice chat with Flame. And he actually has the recording of me just kind of coming up with it on the spot, trying to figure out the riff, figuring out that lead riff, figuring out what the song is. I think that's like super cool. It's one of my more favorite songs from the new album. It's newer-ish. It was recorded over spring break. And I kind of like how it sounds right now. The mix kind of came together pretty damn quick. Because I've been getting better at mixing and composing and that type of stuff. Alright, any other questions? Anything about me in general? Deepest, darkest secrets? Maybe not the deepest and darkest. Yeah, if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and end stream. You know, this stream's always going to be here in case anyone wants to take a look at Losing Battle, how it works, what it thinks, how it does the stuff. Yeah, that's all. I'm going to go ahead and head out. It's been a pleasure having y'all here today. Oh, do you write at my piano more? Yeah, generally all of my songs are conceived, like, at my piano. There's a few exceptions to this. Almost every song I've written has started off on piano. Off the top of my head, Headphones, What to Believe, Life Raft, 2... God, not Words of Wisdom. Words of Wisdom is its own story. I'll get into that in a moment. Fraud was not, I guess Fraud. Insomnia. Not Dose, because someone else wrote Dose, technically. And Losing Battle. So those 7 songs were all kind of written piano first. That's not including the new stuff. The new stuff that's not out, I'm not talking about yet. But Alone was also written at piano. But there's a couple exceptions to that. For example, Horizons. I was actually in an acoustic guitar ensemble in high school. It was a new class, and I figured I'd do it because I wanted to get a bit better at guitar and be forced to get better at guitar. And I came up with that kind of chord progression and riff on guitar. And, you know, I made it into a song, you know, featuring most prominently acoustic guitar. Then there's Shut It All Down, which was kind of conceived whenever Jack started playing a badass punk riff, whenever we're trying to do a much more chill song. And then it kind of became its own thing. Same thing with Way Back When. Way Back When was kind of a joint effort that was also kind of started on guitar. Burnout was also conceived on guitar. I had an idea for a riff. Not a riff. I had an idea for a bass line at School of Rock. So I took one of someone's guitar there. We called the guy Ed Sheeran. I think his name was Luke. The guy's name was Luke. I borrowed his guitar and I played out the bass line bum bum da dun 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 for that chorus. That song was conceived on guitar. Same with Knives and Cigarettes. That one was conceived on ukulele. Any other songs in this album that were conceived on guitar from the upcoming one? Oh, Fraud was kind of conceived as a full idea. And Words of Wisdom, as I was working my shift at Chick-fil-A, I was working a Saturday morning shift, the entire fucking song came to me at once. Lyrics, lead riff, chord progression, everything. It was weird. So that one didn't really get conceived anywhere. It just spawned, which is interesting. But yeah, generally, most songs I write on my keyboard. There are some small exceptions to that, but 9 out of 10 times it's piano. Because, that's my instrument. That's my instrument. That's where I know I'm fresh. That's where I know I'm good. But sometimes it's nice to come up with something on a different instrument. Keeps everything a little fresher. Keeps myself fresh. All right. If that's all, I'm going to go ahead and peace out. Been a pleasure having you here.